I, 30F, have been married to my husband, 33M, for 11 years. He's in the military, so we've moved around a lot, and over time, I've come to realize that my marriage has become an endless cycle of burnout, guilt, and unmet needs. Looking back, I can see how impulsive it was. We got married after dating for just 6 months. But at the time, I was in love and convinced we could handle anything together. My husband always said, "I know what it's like to see women carry too much. I'd never let you feel alone." I believed him. At first, things were okay. He's always been more traditional, believing his job is to provide while I handle the home. I brushed it off, assuming we'd find a balance eventually. We never did. For over a decade, I've carried the household responsibilities entirely on my own. Cooking, cleaning, laundry, groceries, managing bills, taking care of our pets. On top of that, I've worked full-time jobs throughout our marriage. Every time I asked him for help, he'd shut me down with sarcastic or dismissive remarks. "I'll just eat off paper plates then. I'll grab fast food, so you don't have to deal with my dishes." Every attempt to express how exhausted I was ended with me feeling guilty for not appreciating him. Then came the bombshell. 2 years ago, while he was deployed, he confessed. I picked him up from the airport, excited to see him, and the second we got home, he broke down. He admitted he cheated while overseas. His excuse: he felt like a failure. He carried so much shame. He needed an escape. I was devastated, but instead of being allowed to process my own pain, I found myself comforting him. "You're not a failure. We can work through this." I wanted to save our marriage. I wanted to believe we could fix it. We tried counseling, but he quit after 2 sessions, saying it was too painful to relive his past trauma. Every attempt I made to discuss the betrayal ended with me apologizing for making him feel worse. I buried my pain. Then, 4 months later, I found out I was pregnant. 4 years, we were told we couldn't conceive naturally. This felt like a sign. Maybe we could start fresh. Maybe this was our second chance. It wasn't. Fast forward to now, our baby is 13 months old. I've been a stay-at-home mom since the birth, but nothing has changed. In fact, my workload has tripled. Cooking, cleaning, grocery shopping, still all me. Night feeds, bath time, baby care, also me. Zero support, no breaks, no partner to lean on. A few weeks ago, I finally snapped. I told him I was burned out and couldn't do everything alone. His response: "I thought I was enough." That hit like a punch to the gut. I told him, if this is what marriage looks like, why are we even married? I could just get a job and do it all myself. I wasn't trying to threaten divorce. I was being honest about how defeated I felt. But instead of genuinely stepping up, he turned every act of helping into a passive-aggressive performance. Feeds the baby. Hope this is enough for you. Puts away food. Am I doing enough now? Carries groceries inside. Hope breaking my back is enough for you. I can't win. Asking for help feels like begging for scraps. And even when I get it, it comes with strings attached. Last week, I mentioned divorce again. This time, his response shook me to my core. If we divorce, I'm not going to be involved in our child's life. It's all or nothing. I was stunned. How could he just abandon our child? But at the same time, it felt like just another manipulation tactic. Another way to trap me. He claims he doesn't want a divorce, but his actions, and now his words, make me feel like he's not really interested in being a husband or a father. We live overseas right now because of his military assignment. If we divorce, I'd move back to the US with our baby while he stays here. The thought of my child growing up without a father breaks my heart. But the thought of staying in this marriage, where I feel invisible, unsupported, and manipulated, that feels even worse. ETA, more context. When we got married, he promised he'd share the load. He said he valued equality. But every conversation about housework or emotional labor ended with me apologizing for being ungrateful. I convinced myself to stay because he doesn't drink. He isn't physically abusive. He provides financially. I thought those were the bare minimum essentials for a husband. But now I ask myself, is that really enough? The cheating was the first breaking point. I never fully recovered from it. I stayed because I wanted to believe in our marriage. Now, with our baby, everything is magnified. I don't want my child to grow up in a home where resentment and bitterness are the norm. At the same time, I can't shake the guilt of taking my baby away from their father, even if he's the one choosing not to be involved. I've been leaning toward counseling again, but I'm also making plans to leave if nothing changes. I believe in marriage, but I'm starting to believe that staying in this one might be worse for me and my child than walking away. So Reddit, AITA for considering divorce. Do I try to fix this, or is it time to walk away for good? If you enjoyed the story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. It really helps the channel grow. Thanks for listening to Hidden Thread Teller. See you in the next one.